worship you, Father. I worship. Our hands on them, did it? That's every name.
Just when it seemed the situation with Chrisean couldn't get any more chaotic, members of her own church came forward with allegations about how Junior is being cared for, claiming she's been bringing him to prayer gatherings instead of getting him proper therapy. They also backed up her ex-boyfriend Hudbino's earlier statements about the child struggling to stand, claims Cress previously brushed off as jealousy over her reconnecting with Blueface. Now, with Chrisean's sister Tareen adding her own accusation that Crow exposed the boy to an infection, the chorus of unverified claims has grown even louder, pushing the entire situation deeper into controversy. When it comes to acknowledging mistakes, Chrisean has consistently avoided taking responsibility, even as mounting claims about her negligence come to light. From the beginning, her handling of Junior's well-being has raised eyebrows. Reports have circulated alleging that she contracted chlamydia during pregnancy, a condition that, if left untreated, can have serious implications for a child's health. In addition, leaked medical documents have revealed that Junior is grappling with multiple health issues, which some experts and observers claim are linked to her smoking, drinking, and intimate relationships while she was expecting. The combination of these factors has left many questioning how a child could be born into such vulnerability and whether sufficient preventative measures were ever considered. Rather than actively addressing these risks or seeking specialized care, Chrisean appears to have neglected Junior's needs, sparking concern among friends, family, and the public about whether her inattention is a product of oversight or something more deliberate. The situation intensified when Chrisean appeared on Instagram Live with Junior, and viewers noticed signs consistent with fetal alcohol syndrome. His behavior, appearance, and responses suggested developmental challenges, prompting an outpouring of concern from viewers and medical professionals alike. Public discussions quickly emerged on social media, with many questioning whether he was receiving the necessary medical attention and therapeutic interventions that could help mitigate the long-term impact of prenatal exposure to harmful substances. Despite the gravity of these concerns, cries for immediate attention reportedly went largely unanswered. Observers noted that while Junior needed care and reassurance, Chrisean seemed more preoccupied with maintaining her online presence, streaming content to her followers, and engaging in online drama rather than focusing on the child's urgent needs. Compounding the unease is the apparent lack of intervention from other adults in Junior's life. Reports suggest that, on multiple occasions, cries for attention and moments of distress went ignored, leaving the child vulnerable to both physical and emotional harm. This pattern of neglect, whether intentional or a result of distraction, has left the public wondering whether Junior's well-being is truly a priority for Chrisean. The contrast between her online persona, a figure often projecting control, confidence, and influence, and the reports of inadequate care for her child has sparked intense debate. Many argue that a child's needs, particularly when medical and developmental concerns are present, must come first, and that the failure to act responsibly reflects poorly on a parent entrusted with such a vulnerable life. Ultimately, the situation surrounding Chrisean and Junior has become emblematic of a broader discussion about parental responsibility, accountability, and the impact of social media on caregiving. When allegations of negligence, combined with leaked medical records and public observations, converge, it forces a difficult reckoning. Can a parent who prioritizes online attention over a child's immediate health truly provide adequate care? For Junior, the unanswered questions are not just theoretical, they relate to his physical development, emotional security, and long-term well-being. As the public continues to monitor the situation, the hope among many observers is that the child receives the support, therapy, and attentive care that he has consistently been denied, and that accountability, whether legal, social, or moral, ultimately aligns with his best interests.
My son, Chrisean Jesus Malone Jr., he's straight. The fuck? He's $1 billion baby, so stay tuned. But no, he's not blind. No, he's not retarded. He's a child. It's cool though. It is. He's blessed from the head to his toe. Like, what? Y'all forgot when he got dedicated on the 7th day? Like,
true to form, Chrisean couldn't resist scrolling through the backlash in her comments, but rather than acknowledge any responsibility, she doubled down on her usual defense. She urged people to stop labeling her son as slow and insisted that he's perfectly healthy, dismissing claims about blindness and explaining that any vacant stares are just typical childhood behavior. In her own words, Junior is a blessed, billion-dollar baby who's growing, playing, and thriving from head to toe. She referenced his recent dedication, framing it as evidence of his well-being, and made it clear that she has no intention of engaging with criticism. It doesn't generate views or attention, so she's focused on presenting him as a thriving child, walking, talking, and even playing sports, while brushing off any negative speculation. Chrisean fired back fiercely against anyone questioning her child, claiming that outsiders have no understanding of God or his life, and she rejected every negative remark aimed at Junior. She framed the situation as one where only God's perspective matters, insisting that critics will ultimately look foolish for their judgments. Yet, observers weren't shocked by her reaction. From the moment Junior was born, it seemed clear that his care was far from her priority. Many have noted that if Child Protective Services had acted, he might have been removed long ago, but they haven't, and she appears fully aware of that reality. Junior was born with a hernia, but Crow repeatedly skipped his medical appointments, so much so that Blue eventually shared photos online to highlight the neglect, declaring that he couldn't stay silent while his son was suffering. He criticized her for prioritizing her own agenda over the boy's health, pointing out that she'd been delaying surgery and ignoring necessary care. This wasn't an isolated concern. Crow has reportedly been on CPS's radar for a long time, yet the system hasn't intervened. The situation escalated recently on Twitch, where she left Junior alone in a scorching car to argue with Blue over the phone, directing a staff member to attend to him instead of taking action herself. Viewers quickly reported the stream, and her account was banned before the broadcast ended, highlighting a pattern of negligence and disregard for the child's well-being. Chrisean has firmly maintained that she never left Junior alone in a car, insisting that he was always surrounded by people while she handled a tense phone call with his father, whom she described as unsupportive and disengaged. According to her, the child's safety was never at risk in those moments, and she blamed the backlash on misunderstandings and sensationalized social media coverage. However, the situation took a serious turn when someone from her team sent photographs to Child Protective Services showing Junior bleeding from his private parts. This shocking development finally prompted CPS to respond to the long-standing complaints about his care, which had been circulating for months. The images reignited public scrutiny and forced authorities to assess the severity of the allegations, highlighting the complexities involved in intervening in cases of suspected neglect. A former CPS officer weighed in, explaining that removing a child from a parent with a history of substance use is far more complicated than many outsiders realize. Accessing medical or social service records leaves a trace, creating legal and procedural barriers to immediate action. According to leaked medical documents, Junior reportedly suffers from fetal alcohol syndrome, visual impairments, spasticity, seizures, and tested positive for opiates, among other conditions. These findings paint a picture of a child with significant medical and developmental needs, yet the officer clarified that CPS often allows infants who test positive for substances to remain with their parents, instead offering home checks, support services, and resources aimed at improving the child's environment. This approach, while intended to balance parental rights with child welfare, has left many members of the public questioning why Junior remains in Chrisean's care despite the serious concerns about his well-being. Adding to the growing alarm is speculation that Junior may not be able to walk independently. Observers and medical experts have noted that his developmental delays, combined with reports of inadequate supervision and missed therapy, create a heightened risk for his long-term health and mobility. The controversy surrounding his care has sparked a broader discussion about parental responsibility, the limitations of child protection systems, and the role of public oversight in cases where a child's needs may be overlooked. With multiple allegations, medical records, and public testimony converging, the situation underscores the urgent need for careful monitoring and intervention to ensure that Junior receives the care, therapy, and attention that his complex medical condition demands. Although Crowan has repeatedly denied it, her ex-boyfriend Hudbino recently went public, claiming that Junior is unable to walk because Chrisean refuses to take him to therapy. Bino described a shocking incident when Junior fell off a bed and lay crying while Chrisean reportedly ignored him, sparking a heated argument between the two. While Crowan dismissed his accusations, her church members have now added fuel to the fire, sharing online that her godly image is largely performative and pointing out that Junior shows signs of needing help, often staring into space and reacting strongly to loud stimuli. Prior videos have circulated showing Crowan bringing him to church in a disheveled state, allegedly relying on prayer instead of proper therapy to undo the effects of her drinking during pregnancy. If these allegations hold true, many argue that CPS should intervene immediately, as Croc has repeatedly demonstrated that she may not be capable of adequately caring for her son. Public sentiment is strong, with some calling for serious accountability for substance use during pregnancy and others questioning the church's role in shielding her. The debate continues online, with voices demanding that the child's well-being come first.